mess that up, but that's all right. I ain't at the opera. We'll talk a little bit more about that trades and the job situation that we were just talking about a little bit. I guess what I wanted to add to that was, first off, get a job, show up every day on time. People notice that. They don't like it when you're late. It will eventually have a negative effect. If it doesn't get you fired, it will at least stifle your opportunities. So show up every day on time. Give them your 8 hours for your 8 hours of pay. I will say that avoid the weed, avoid dope. Even if they legalize it, which is probably coming, it's probably in the not too distant future where they will legalize recreational marijuana. But the reason I tell you to leave it alone, besides the fact that I don't use the stuff, but the reason I tell you to leave it alone is insurance companies give employers a break based on drug programs and whatnot. So when I had my shop, I could save a few $1,000s a year by allowing my insurance company to call in random drug tests. And about once a quarter, every 3 months, they would send me a list of 3 or 4 names, send these people down to be drug tested. And that included me because I was on the policy. And it saved me money on my workers' comp insurance. So it's not the employer that's got a beef with the weed or dope, and it's the insurance companies, and they're in business to make money, not to pay claims. That their business is to keep their money, not to give it out. So you want to avoid that stuff, even if it becomes legal. I would say don't overindulge in alcohol. People make fun of me because I like a cold beer, but my limit is 2. And I frequently get laughed at because I stop after a second beer. That's okay. I don't have a problem with that. I don't want anything that's going to affect my mental faculties. I want to be able to think with a clear head. I want to be able to talk intelligently. I want to be able to string a sentence together and make sense. Been there, been drunk, made a fool out of myself. I'm not too crazy about that stuff. So I would tell you, when you show up at work, don't show up hungover. If you're going to have a few the night before, don't overdo it, because when you show up at work, you need to be able to give it your best. And they're paying for your best. You need to be able to deliver it. That's your part of the deal. You want your paycheck, you're going to be upset as all get out if on Friday they make you wait till Monday for your paycheck. Well, they feel the same way. They're paying hard-earned money for somebody to give them 100%. So they expect it when you show up in the morning, and rightfully so. I've worked for as little as 75 cents an hour. Back in 1968 or 9, it must have been 60. No, it wasn't. It was probably 71. I was probably 12 years old when I did this. A man down the street named Mr. Powell asked me to spade up his backyard so that he could plant a garden. He was an older gentleman. I don't know how old he was. To me, he was ancient. He might have been 60 or 65, about my age, about the age I am now. But I thought he was ancient, and I was 12. And he paid me 75 cents an hour to do that. When I completed the job, and it wasn't a big garden plot, it was probably, maybe 10 by 20, 15 by 20, something like that. Just a corner of his backyard he wanted to put him a small garden in. Didn't take me just a whole lot of time. I don't even remember, 3 or 4 days to get it all done. The ground out there is pretty hard. But he paid me 75 cents an hour, and then he gave me these. These are bronze initials. See if I can get the letters turned right. They say CF. If you asked me if I thought these were important to me, I would have told you not especially. They're just some bronze initials I picked up along the way, not a big deal. But for some reason, I've held on to them for 50 years. Not only did I hold on to them, I knew exactly where to go to find them when I wanted them a few minutes ago. So they apparently are of more significance than I would even be consciously aware of. And I don't know why I'm even sharing that with you, except to tell you 50 years ago this guy gave me this to the initial, and for some reason I've held on to it all this time. So that would be my thoughts. Avoid the abusing substances. Let's put it that way. The dope, I'd leave it alone altogether. Weed, I personally am not going to smoke it even if it's legal. I'd leave it alone. And I'd leave it alone for the reasons that I said, because it can affect your job if they send you to do a random drug test. Boom, you tested positive for THC. Okay, the insurance company is going to insist that you be terminated, and you've probably got something in your employee packet that says they can terminate you on those grounds. And when you go to the unemployment office, they're going to tell you, sorry, you don't get unemployment because you were terminated for just cause. That's the way that stuff works. It's not, we're not talking about is it fair, is it right, none of that matters. What matters is it's the law and it's the rules, and you got to figure out how to live within those. So that would be my thoughts on that. Try to work your way up the ladder. Give more than is expected, and you'll go further. Give me a minute, sweetie. Grandma will want me to come to dinner probably. Work on those things. Think about those things. Guess that's really all I got to say about that. The jobs are important. Working hard is important. Besides the pay that you get every week, you get a sense of self-satisfaction. My day starts at 6:15. I leave this house at 6:15 in the morning. I come back in about 6 o'clock in the evening. That's a 12-hour day, all day, every day, 5 days a week, however many days out of the year it is with my vacation time. It's a lot of them. And some days, just like anybody else, I don't want to be there. Discipline is a choice. That's a choice you make, and that is what allows you to keep doing that even when you don't want to. So when you can't keep a job, or you're not willing to participate on their terms, you are making a choice to not participate on their terms. Own that choice. Don't blame somebody else. Well, dadgummit, they fired me because I smoked some weed last week, or dadgummit, I came in drunk 3 days this week and they fired me. That was your choice. So own those things. And I don't know that any of y'all do any of that. I know a couple of you smoke a little weed, and I'm not here to tell you that's right or that's wrong. I personally don't. Never have, not going to, because I don't want anything messing with my head. I want to be able to think. I struggle enough as it is. I don't need something that's going to take the edge off more than it already is. So anyway, guys, this is going to go along as part 2 of the one that I just put up there about trades and trying to get apprenticeship programs, that sort of thing, because it kind of ties in with that. If you get into an apprenticeship program, first thing they do before they hire you is they're going to send you for a drug test. That's the way that's going to work. I can't imagine anywhere that does not do that now, just because the insurance companies insist on it. Y'all take it, mull it over, do with it what you will, chunk it in the trash can if you want to. Just trying to sit on the front porch and visit and tell y'all some things I've learned after all these years, and maybe some of it will mean something to somebody and somebody will get some benefit from it. Y'all take care of yourself. We love you, and we'll talk to you soon. And that country boy can't survive.